Good morning. Your signal is loud and clear. My name is Mai. I will be the control operator today. From the Embassy of the United Arab Emirates in Japan, His Excellency Shihab Al-Fahim, the Ambassador of UAE, and 4 high-ranking officials and 3 international students are listening to this radio communication here today. Are you ready to take questions? Over.
ありがとうございます for this opportunity. I am ready for the question and excited. Over.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's begin.
This is Tsubasa. How long do you exercise per day? Over.
Thank you for your question. So we exercise almost 2.5 hours, and this is to protect our bodies from losing the body mass and the bone density, which is a problem if we don't exercise when we go back to Earth. Over.
Where is the rocket stabilizer? This is Takto. Where is the rocket stabilizer cylinder? Over.
Okay, so this is, I think, because we need a nominal distribution of pressure, so the body of the rocket won't have a weak point when we launch, because we experience a lot of pressure and G-forces, so the cylindric shape is the best shape for a rocket. Over.
This is Eli. What did you consider when learning a non-native language like English? Over.
Thank you, EY. So English is the national or the international language and the approved language on board the International Space Station. So everybody has to be good in English. And on top of that, we also learn Russian, and this is something because we have 2 segments on board the station. We have the American segment and the Russian segment. So we learn both languages. And we do use some words when we go and travel. For example, I went to Tsukuba for training, and I learned a few Japanese words. Over.
This is Kazuma. What is the most challenging thing about going to space? Over.
Thank you, Kazuma. So I think the most challenging thing is the long years of training. So you have to train for many, many years, and that including the physical training and the technical training and the specific training for the scientific experiments. So being ready for so many years, I think that was the most challenging thing. And once you're in space, you just do whatever you learn. So overall, I think it's a good experience of learning and then doing whatever you learned on board the station. Over.
This is Haru. How did you feel when you went to space? Over.
Thank you, Haru. So honestly, when we arrived to space and feeling the sensation of weightlessness, and you start thinking that you achieved your childhood dream, it was amazing. And honestly, seeing Earth from up here, it's so profound. Over.
This is you. Which planet do you want to go to? Over.
Thank you. So I think my favorite planet is to go to Mars. Over.
This is Haruhi. Please tell me, what are some convenient and inconvenient things in space? Over.
Thank you for your question. So I think it's weightlessness and the microgravity. So it is convenient because we can literally pull and carry hundreds of pounds with one hand. It's not heavy at all, but you feel the mass. And at the same time, weightlessness also can make work on board the station challenging. So we have to secure everything in one specific place using Velcros or clips, not to float away. Over.
This is Soma. Does the Earth really look the same as it does in pictures? Over.
Thank you so much. So yeah, definitely we see Earth as you see on the pictures. We only orbiting Earth about 400 kilometers, and we see the mountains and the forests and everything possible. And we orbit the globe in 90 minutes. So it's amazing, and we take a lot of pictures. Over.
This is Shio. Please tell us the secret to making friends with astronauts from other countries. Over.
Thank you, Shio. So, as I mentioned, we take many years to train, and we develop some sort of camaraderie and friendship among the crew. So it's really amazing because we are working for a common goal, which is pushing the boundaries of exploration and experience a lot of and testing a lot of scientific experiments. So we work for a common goal, and we just like one team working for a specific target. Over.
This is Yo. What happens if you crack an egg in space? Over.
Yo, this is a very interesting question. So, unfortunately, we don't have eggs on board the station, but I think if you crack an egg, it will stick together. It won't like fall down or anything. It will just stick together. I mean, the shell and the inner parts of the egg. Over.
This is Sora. Will water freeze or evaporate if I release water into space? Over.
Thanks, Sora. So initially, water will freeze, and this is actually what we use to cool our suits during an EVA. So we use water, and the operation is called sublimate. So that water is exposed to vacuum, and it will freeze, and we use that ice to cool down the suit. So yeah, definitely it will freeze. Over.
This is Kota. What is your favorite space food? Over.
Oh, Kota, my favorite food is the Japanese menu, and it's definitely Japanese rice. Over.
This is Ryosuke. How does the toilet system work in the ISS? Over.
Interesting question. So the toilet works by suction. It's a vacuum. It sucks the solid waste and the liquid waste. So we use that and contain all these wastes using suction and put it in a specific place. Over.
This is Koya. How do you feel when you see the Earth from space? Over.
Thank you, Koya. I think when we see Earth from up here, we see how fragile it is. So the whole atmosphere is only limited to 1 kilometers and nothing above that. It was like just seeing vacuum and darkness. So we need to appreciate and we need to protect our planet and keep it intact throughout our life. Over.
Which star is beautiful to you? Over.
Hanako, so I think my favorite star is Cronobus, and this is the second brightest star in the southern hemisphere, and we have a name common with our mascot, Suhail. So yeah, that is my favorite star. Over.
This is Lena. What kind of experiment do you do in the ISS? Over.
We have a lot of exercises, and we have a lot of things we do here on board the station. So when we train and when we exercise and live generally on board the station, we are subject to a lot of experiment checking the impact of microgravity to our bodies. And we do a lot of biological experiments and material science and technological science. So it's full of science on board the station. Over.
This is Shigetaka. What is the hardest training you had to do to become an astronaut? Over.
Thank you for your question. So it's definitely the MBL training, which is simulating an EVA. So we work and train underwater for 6 hours per time. So every time we go there, we exercise for 6 hours continuously, no breaks, and we have no food. So that is the most challenging, I would say, exercise for space. Over.
Michael, what is the most difficult part of the experiment in space? Over.
So I think the most challenging part is staying and focusing on an experiment that scientists worked for years, and you are the hands and eyes and the ears for these scientists. So you need to make sure that you don't mess it up, and you need to focus. So I would say that is the most critical part of the ISS experiment. Over.
Okay, we have finished all of our questions. We enjoyed the contact today. Thank you very much. We really appreciate this opportunity, and it has been a memorable experience for everyone. Over.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm really happy to communicate with you, and hopefully I can come back to Earth.
Okay, thank you. 73, goodbye.